In today's video, we're going to talk about Heavy Metal's reward system. We're going to talk about Heavy Metal's game mode in another video later on. We're going to focus purely the reward system right now. We're going to start with the event pass, then we're going to talk about the engrams and stuff, and then we're going to talk about the reward shop and the tokens and how to get them and stuff. So this is going to be a setup, each spot we're going to talk about. So first off, the rank for the XP is a bit slow. I know some people might not like that, but I actually think it's an okay amount. I think the biggest problem is you don't have the ability to repeat. You don't have a repeatable bounty, basically, if you think about it. So these daily challenges, they give a decent bit. They give you like almost one, just shy of one level, give or take a little bit. So they're a bit but they're not bad. You get 3 of them. You get 7 of the material per each. You get a weekly one that gives you like a level and a half or 2 levels, something like that. It's not bad. It's pretty easy to do all of these. They take a few games and you're pretty much done. There is a bug, I at least assume it's a bug currently, with the weekly one. You're actually not getting more percent for a win or a loss. At least I was not. I was watching it and counting. It gives you 6 point something a win and 6 point something a loss. And it's the exact same point something because the number never varied or anything weirdly. So, unfortunately, that is bugged. I assume it's bugged because I don't think that, since it says winning provides additional progress. But as a whole, it gives you some levels. But I do think Bungie needs to add a little extra one like up here that is repeatable. So it tells you like get a single kill in a game or something, right? Give you something easy you know you can do in one game, and it gives you like maybe a quarter, half a level or something. These are small events, so 15 levels ain't that big of a deal. You do the daily ones, you will hit it. But it would be nice for those of us that want to farm it to get it a little sooner. As you see, I did it, but I did use some of my reroll chips. If you do every character's quest, you get a total of 6, including the ones from this. It totals you at 6. I have 3 of them because simply I used the other 3 just so I could hit max rank. I didn't want to buy up silver. You can buy silver, if a lot of people did do, but you don't have to. The vehicle is really nice. It's really cool and unique, so it is worth farming for. You should definitely do it because it is a free event. It is limited time. They will bring it back, but I don't know if it'll still have the same weapon in it, or the same vehicle in it at that time. It might change, so make sure you farm it now. But as a whole, if we had a repeatable one that would repeat infinitely, the first time you complete, you get like a level off it or something, and then after that gives you like a quarter or half a level every time you complete it. But it's something you can complete multiple times, so it will say like get 1 kill, you get a kill, and then it changes to like get 1 game completed, or get another kill, something like that, or get a kill with double kill, or survive something, or outplay something simple that's relatively easy, not something too complicated where you just have to do one of. Maybe simply just a kill. Every time you do it, get a kill, completes, gives you like a quarter of the bar. Get another kill, and you can do multiple in one game if you're lucky, or it'll take a couple games. It could be just complete a match constantly, and that works fine too. It's just something extra to make it a little quicker to level up. That way some people can do it, and plus you can save your reroll chip, so that way if there is one you like, you can get a whole bunch of the materials, because you do get tokens from this. You get 7 for each, which we'll talk about in a second when we get to the shop about how that works and how they can make that a little better. As a whole, the rewards from the event pass aren't horrible. I do think the enhancement cores and prisms that come out of this should be increased. The first enhancement core should not be 1 enhancement core. I know it's a small event, but it should be like 3 enhancement cores. 1 enhancement core doesn't get you anywhere in this game, really. It's not a great number to start with, especially because it is a short event. It should be enticing to, hey, go play this, you get some rewards. It doesn't have to be some huge number. The bigger events is for more of the loot. This can be something small, but it needs to be more than 1. 1 just doesn't feel, and it can't be 2 because that's dumb, okay? 1 to 2 is not an increase, okay? But as a whole, if they increase it by a few, I think 4 or 5 would be a good thing. I think 4, honestly, is a great way to put it. These engrams you get are pretty cool and unique. We do like these. We'll talk about these in a second when we get to them. You do get the reroll chips, which we just talked about. You get a total of 6 if you do the quest on all 3 characters. It gives you 1. It doesn't say it gives you 1 when you complete it, but every time I reload the game, I have another one, so I don't know what's going on with that. I assume it's from the quest. It's just bugged and doesn't show you it. I don't know. But then you do get 3 from the thing as well, but I did re-roll these 3 times. That's how I've completed the set pass. So I know there's 6 because I've used it 3 times, and yet I have 3 of them. So not sure what that's about. I think it just gives it back to you or something. It could be a bug or something for, I don't know. We'll see. Somebody might be able to figure that one out. I've already done it, so it's too late to figure it out now for me on all 3 characters. But yeah, the prisms, it should be like 2 or prisms. I mean, maybe 1 prism isn't that big of a deal at the beginning, because prisms are pretty easy to get, and you don't need a lot of them for most things until you Because usually once you get a weapon you like or something, you're basically not going to use it again for a while. So you can stack up on these pretty easily if you just play the game. So it's not that big of a deal. But enhancement cores you use for a lot, so you kind of need to keep going getting them. So I'd like a few more enhancement cores. Maybe one prism's okay. I think 2 would be better. 2 and then have 3 on this side. And then put you with 5, which means you need 1 more to max an armor piece or something. So I think that'd be an okay thing. We got strange coins as well in here, which is really nice. They actually put a good amount of strange coins. They put 18. Doesn't sound like a lot, but 18 is not a bad number by any means. For the start of it, that's a decent number total. We do have an Ascendant Shard as well, which is nice. Like I said, the enhancement core should just be increased a bit. 2 of them here is not much. You should put this at like 6 or something. I don't know, or 5 maybe, or I don't know. What if they're gonna do one extra? Fine. Put the first one at 4, this one at 5. You know, maybe, but I just feel like it needs to be a little bit of an increase, and it'd be better. Same thing with the Prism here, make it like 3 or something. I don't know, they just need a little bit of loot increase. It is a short event, so it's kind of got to be a little enticing. Yes, this time around, the Sparrow was very enticing because it's the first of its kind, but once everyone gets this, it won't be that enticing anymore to do these if they keep adding the same type of Sparrow. Or if it's the exact same Sparrow, it definitely won't be enticing. So it really depends on what they plan to do, and a weapon will, or an ornament would definitely entice people too, you know. The Sparrow is nice because it's new and unique, but next time around they add one, even if it looks cool, it's not going to be as enticing if everyone's already got this one. So hopefully they mix it up once in a while, add like a special exotic ornament for a weapon or something, or maybe even an exotic. It could be a special exotic that comes out once in a while with these events. I mean, that'd be really weird, but it would be cool. I don't know. Just saying for the future, they've definitely got to think about what they add here. Because the Sparrow's got to either look insanely cool on a crazy level or do something crazy level that we've never seen before. Whereas this one's done something crazy, it actually applies the elements. So whatever elements you're super, it actually applies to this and allows you to do unique effects, and that's really cool. So, but yeah, so as a whole, the Battle Pass ain't bad. I just think they need to add something like up here or even on the side or somewhere. It's a repeatable one. You can get multiple times in a game, or you can get it complete a game. Every time you complete a game, it gets done, and it's like a half a level or a quarter of a level or something. Just to give you that little extra bit, because winning and losing currently doesn't give you a change in the amount of rep you get. At least it doesn't appear to be. So if you win a game or lose a game, you get the exact same amount to level this up. It appears that way. I could be wrong, but from the numbers I've looked and how I've checked on it constantly after I win or lose a game to try to estimate, it doesn't appear to be moving differently. So if they're going to leave it like that, which is fine because it allows people that aren't going to win that much to level up the same, just to have something up here like get a kill every game or something would allow even everyone to level up a little quicker as a whole, even the worst to the best. So I think that'd be a decent. Now we're going to talk about the engrams. The engrams as a whole, I like these. You can earn these from the end of games, whether you lose or win. I've gotten it from both losses and wins. I don't know if that's intended or not, but I have done it, and I like it that way, so hopefully they keep it that way if it wasn't intended. The thing I do have an issue with is I do not like, personally, that Lotus Eater and Paladrone are in here. They are Nightfall weapons. They should stay in the Nightfall. I know some people would argue, like, we really want another way to farm it. Look, go farm strikes to get a whole bunch of engrams. Go do a Nightfall. Dude, it's super easy to farm these. It's stupidly easy, okay? I get this event might be more fun for the PvP side. That's why they might have done it. I get it. But the Adept Pally is so much better. Go farm it. Okay? GMs are a joke. If you're afraid of GMs, don't be afraid. This week especially, insanely easy GM to farm a Lotus Eater. It's stupidly easy for an Adept one. Takes no effort at all. Go farm it. It's so easy. You got till Tuesday. So there's no fear there. Now, I do like the world weapons here because world weapons are the hardest thing to farm for God rolls. Even with all the farm methods they have put in play for it, I can never get a God roll for these. And this engram system has actually allowed me to get a God roll from it, which makes me very happy. Very happy. So, I'm glad I finally got a God roll Boondoggle I've been looking for a while. I got a near God roll Curious, which I'll have a video on this later because this thing actually has crazy damage numbers. I didn't get a perfect roll. I might get lucky to get a perfect roll, but I got a really good roll, so. Other than that, the engram system is nice. The only thing I want them to change is currently the engrams go into your inventory, as you can see here, in your engram system. I think this should not be a thing. I think there should be a very special vendor like area in here. So like how we have these little tabs inside, there should be one for specific engrams. And so when you click on it, you like here it'd be like, oh, your engrams, you have this many engrams, you have like 5 engrams, and then oh, you want to focus one of the weapons that are featured this week. So I assume the event, the weapons will change. I assume this event will be these weapons, but next time it comes around, it'll be different weapons, or something like that. Or even on the weekly reset that's for this event that comes up on Tuesday, it might change the weapons then. I don't know yet. We'll see. We're learning as we go, obviously. I assume they will change though at some point. So there should be a vendor to farm a specific weapon, because if there's that one world weapon you really want, or even if there is a Nightfall weapon like there is now, and you're like, oh, I really want it, then you can farm it. I don't think Nightfall weapons should be in here. Again, they're super easy to farm. Nightfalls are not hard at all. LFG system, you can get them done without even trying. Even with people that aren't that skilled, even if you're trash, anyone can do them. It's really easy to do. You should definitely go do them. It's not that hard, especially this week. It's a joke of a Nightfall for now. Bungie might buff eventually, so you should definitely farm it. But as a whole, engrams are nice. I just wish they would add a single way of farming them, or focus farming them. I think it's fine. It drops for matches. If they can remove the Nightfall ones in the future and only add world weapons, that'd be great. I also think they should add one unique weapon. So I think it'd be fine if it's one unique weapon to any of the events, the small events, not the big events, the small events. I think that'd be fine. Or have it where heavy metal or anything that comes out that's tank-wise or something like this, it'll be like a rocket launcher, and it's specific to those type of events. And they can mess with the perks every year or something just to make it a little bit more enticing. I think that'd be cool. Have that the one weapon that always stays, and then everything else is randomized every time it comes out. That would be a really cool system. It would allow you to farm for that one cool weapon that's unique to the heavy metal playlist, and that'd be awesome. Personally, I think that'd be great. It'd incite people and have some really cool rolls, something very unique that only comes from it. There'd be no other perk like it anywhere else in the game at any point. It only comes from this event. It would entice people to play the event to get that unique perk and that unique what are they called? Intrinsic perks, or not intrinsics? That extra column of perks, the ones that give you the oh man, we are blanking right now. Hold up. These perks right here. Origin traits. A very unique origin trait that only comes from the heavy metal event. I think that'd be really cool, personally. Oh, look at that. We've somehow completed one on the daily reset. That's hilarious. So you could actually complete the daily ones on the daily reset for some reason. I don't know why. It's probably because that's how many tokens I have in my inventory. So I glitched it out and completed it. There's a little bug. We just discovered a little funny bug right there. Ain't that funny? Daily reset. We got a free thing done. So now you know. Anyways, back to the main topic. So yeah, engram system, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. They just need to make a little bit extra. And if they add one weapon that's purely for heavy metal, I think that'd be really cool and make it farmable, and more purposefully farmable. Now we're going to talk about the shop. The biggest problem I have with the shop is these tokens do not drop from wins or losses. I think it should drop like, I don't know, 4 or 5 for a win, and then for a loss it drops like 2 or 3. That way your challenges give you 7, as you see. We get 7 per challenge for the daily ones, and we get like, I don't remember, 20 or something for the weekly one, so, which is nice. But yeah, so is the whole, they need to make it where you can get more of these materials to drop, because they are short events. They're a week-long total, and at least this one's Friday to Friday, so which is a bit weird, but it's a very bad system when you want to get an Ascendant Shard and it costs 200. Ascendant Shards are relatively easy to get, but if you're going to use material, you'll probably use it for this, or Enhancement Cores, or the weapons, which personally I'd use it for the weapons. And 70 is pretty high, so as a whole, I think everything here needs... Okay, so Exotic Ciphers, Ascendant Alloys, and Ascendant Shards should be more than half. They should cost 50, I think, of the material each. I think the engram should cost 20, the prism should cost 25, the enhancement cores are currently 5-on-1 ratio, which is bad, really bad for any type of material in the game. What I mean by that is when you spend 5 of these tokens, you only get 1 enhancement core. 1. That is horrible ratio. The Glimmer actually I'm fine with. 3 for 3, you get 3,000 Glimmer and it costs 3 coins. I'm completely fine with that. The Glimmer I have no problems with. But the enhancement cores is horrible. It should not be a 5-on-1 ratio. It should be 5 coins for like 6 enhancement cores. You get 1 bonus because you're buying them in a group. Or they should have an option where you can buy 1 enhancement core for 1 token, and then have a 5-1 that gives you 6. Because currently you can only buy 50 of these total, and that's 50 times 5. That's 250 tokens you have to use for 50 enhancement cores. That's horrible. Okay, that's horrible. Other than that, it's fine. I don't mind the material here. I think it's nice. Again, they need to half everything other than the 3 exotic items. They need to make these a lot cheaper because it's just too expensive. Even if you do it every day, you're using all of your material to buy 1 of these, and that's a really bad system for a very short system. Now, later off the bigger events, it's not that big of a deal. I think it's 200 still too much, but they can make it more expensive because it's easier to... it'll be 3 week-long events. You can easily get that material and multiple of it because you can farm it. At least hopefully. But these small ones, it's very hard to get this stuff. They should make it drop from the end of the game. All event tokens should drop at the end of the games. That'd make it a lot better. They need to half everything, and then also the 3 exotic things more than half because it's just way too much. The engram, which seems to be the only thing worth farming for after you finish the battle pass, they need to make these a lot cheaper too. There are supposed to be tokens dropping at the end of the match. They're currently not. This is their first one, so feedback, it's just feedback. Again, keep adept weapons, or nightfall weapons, I should say, out of these engrams. These should just be world weapons, and they should have one unique weapon that comes from heavy metal. That way people would farm for it specifically. They should allow a focusing thing. They should allow a area that the engrams go to, so they're not going into your inventory in your engram section, because that is annoying. As a whole, this event is not bad. I enjoy the reward system. I think this is decent. It just needs slight tweaking to be better, slight increase to the reward numbers, and then as a whole, I think this event will be perfect. This type of event in the future, no matter what it is, will be perfectly fine. Like I said, heavy metal should get its own unique event weapon, and then every other one in the future should get one. I don't want them to, every time it comes around, add a new weapon to it. No, they can add one weapon and have it for a year, and then change the weapon up, or they can change the perks up every year for it, so that way they have some gap of room before they mess with it. There should be one unique weapon each one of these. I assume they're going to do some PvE ones in the future, and there'll be probably some more PvP ones. And they're small events, so I assume there's more of them planned, or at least they're trying to plan more of them. I assume there'll probably be around 4 or 5 different small events, because since they have 4 big different ones, I figure they'll probably still have 4 small ones, which will be cool. And probably see it once or twice a season is probably what they'll end up doing. Or 2 different ones a season. It really depends on what their plan is. I think 4 of them will be unique, and if each one has their own weapon, one weapon that's unique to it, I think that's completely fine. They change the perks every year, it'll be perfectly fine. As a whole, I like this event. I think the rewards are worth farming for. To a certain extent. It's really nice getting world weapons. Personally, I love these weapons. These 2 weapons are insane. PvP god roll, and then a PvE god roll that actually is crazy for damage, which I'm making a video on soon once I get the perfect roll. Very excited for it. It actually is not bad at all for DPS, surprisingly. But other than that, the event's not bad. It is their first one for a small event, so these are just small little critiques that will make it better. In my opinion, it will make it more desirable to farm. It'll also make it more easier to farm a little bit by having that extra challenge. Making it where you can get the tokens at the end of matches will be really better, just so you can get those little extra tokens, because currently, like I said, it's not really great how to earn these. They need to increase it. They make it 5 per win and then 3 per loss. It'd be good that way. That way the challenges still will give you 7, and this one will give you a huge amount. It would balance it out and make it where the challenges are still worth doing. They have the extra one that purely gives XP for the battle pass, or for the season, or event pass or whatever. That'd be great. It doesn't have to give tokens, or if it does, it gives like 1 token every time. That's about it. Or if you complete, there could be like a little bar on it. When you complete like 4 or 5 of them, you get like a token or 2. That would work too. Something a little extra right there would be nice. As a whole, not a bad event. Just needs a little bit of changing, a little bit of adapting and adjusting, and honestly, it'll be fine. The reward system will be perfect. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, leave a comment what you think. If you think my ideals are good, let me know. If you think my ideals are a bit let me know as well. You have a good day. Thanks for watching. Adios. We out.